It's Ryzen.
And Liz.
And Patriots lose again, of course, to
In overtime.
a horrendous Titans team. Really, just a horrendous Titans team. Defensively, they're good. Offensively, they're just terrible. And they couldn't stop the run against it. Oh, yep, 128 yards to the Tennessee Titans. When all they do is run the ball.
Yep.
And you gave up 128 yards to one guy. 167 total.
Ouch.
Team is soft. Same players. They've only lost Judon, who, by the way, is terrible this year anyway.
Well, they've lost Bentley, they've lost Barmore, they've lost fucking other
I guess
players
so,
too.
but
lots of injuries on defense.
Yeah,
but it doesn't
okay.
excuse
You can't give
that
up,
poor play.
You can't give up 5 yards of carry. First of all, the game should have been over in overtime because they were literally going to just run the ball in. They threw the ball once in the drive, maybe twice, and they were giving up 5-6 yards of carry. How are you not able to stop the run when that's all they're doing? This is the second time this has now happened.
Yeah, it feels like every game that's the run. They can't
I'm
stop
sorry,
the run.
is Covington ever going to be... is Mayo ever going to step in and take more control over the defense? Because it's very clearly needed.
Somebody else should call the defense. Actually, somebody else should call the offense too, frankly.
Yeah, APP was terrible in this game, as always. Covington is just a terrible offensive coordinator. I don't understand why he's even still calling defense at this point. I don't know who's coaching the linebackers, but they've been terrible.
I'm pretty sure that's Hightower, right? Isn't he the linebacking coach?
They've been terrible. Tavai probably had his best game today, and he's the only linebacker that I thought was any good in this game.
He was maybe the only guy on defense
and
who
he
was
wasn't,
good.
Well, Gonzalez was good.
Yeah.
Gonzalez is always good.
Right.
Oh
boy, on offense, Drake May.
You're asking your rookie quarterback to carry your entire offense. What are you doing? And he almost carried them to a win, but they're asking him to be Patrick Mahomes in his prime.
Yeah.
And why are you asking your rookie quarterback to do this?
The play at the end of regulation in the fourth quarter was nuts. That even actually happened to tie the game.
And that only happened because Drake May is basically a future superstar.
Clearly.
He threw an interception in the overtime, but you're asking too much out of him. You just are. You have to have... I'm sorry, receivers have got to step up.
Oh, they were
There's
all
several plays
terrible
where
in this game.
Bourne hits him in the hands, drops it in the end zone. I know it's a hard catch.
But you're the veteran.
You're an NFL receiver. You have to make that play.
Exactly.
Period. You have to take the hit and make the play.
Hunter
Henry
Henry
gets beaten on the sideline, one-on-one off of a double move. Fight for the ball, dude. It's a 50-50 ball. You are a tight end. You have to win that matchup.
Also, I consider him a veteran at this point. He's been in the league long enough.
Mario Douglas with a bad drop. Right?
I think so. Yeah. He made an amazing catch, but also had a terrible drop.
Yeah. Stevenson was good in the pass game. He's terrible on the ground. He's been terrible for a while now on the ground.
It's so weird.
10 carries for 16 yards, and they just kept running the ball.
And yet he caught the game-winning touchdown.
Well, game-tying touchdown.
Whatever. Game-tying, sure. But still.
They didn't win the game.
I know they did.
They lost the game.
He won the tying touchdown.
But
this team is just a joke.
This team is a joke, guys. It's a joke.
It's a disaster. It's a joke.
Your best guy on the ground is Drake May for 95 yards, 8 carries. Still don't have design quarterback runs.
He broke Steve Grogan's record.
It's your only way to run the ball. Why aren't you having... How about read options? How about...
Wildcat plays and stuff. No, that probably wouldn't work.
There's with different players.
That probably wouldn't work.
But why not
quarterback
read option? Why not RPOs? Why not... Where is this stuff in the playbook?
Maybe it's because AVP is coaching from... No, this is why that's not in the playbook. That wasn't a thing 20 years ago when he was a coach.
That's what it feels like.
Because RPO wasn't a thing until, the last 5 years or so? 10 years?
Made it, and then their Super Bowl run.
Yeah.
Easily.
But that's when the RPOs became a thing. He probably doesn't know how to design the plays.
In NFL anyway.
Yeah.
It's always a thing in college.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Or it's been a thing in college.
But that's my theory, is that he coached so long ago, he doesn't know what type of plays you're supposed to call today.
You're running the ball for literally 1 yard a carry.
Yeah.
And you continue to run the ball on first down for most of this game.
Yeah, the fans are tired of it.
Adjust. Please adjust to the game.
I know.
He's incapable of making in-game adjustments.
Actually, you could also say that special teams was quite the disaster too. Outside of
no, Marcus Jones was good.
Yeah, but the punts were bad. The missed
kick.
They
missed one punt.
They missed a kick. So.
Which, by the way, would have won the game if they had made that kick. They would have probably won. Right. Because the last play would have been to win the game.
Right. That's true.
If everything transpired as normal.
Right. If they made the field goal.
Of course, you don't know that for sure, but
hypothetically, if it played out the way it did, they would have won. But that doesn't discount all the bad play.
No, just speaking of, so Jalen Polk played in this game. He got 1 target and somehow still hurt the team more than, I think he got benched in the second half of the game.
I didn't see him on the field. I saw his jersey on the sideline.
Why is he on the team? He committed 2 penalties. Remember the excuse for why Javon Baker is not playing? He can't line up properly. You know who got an illegal formation penalty?
Polk did.
Somehow this guy, when he's not even getting passes to drop, still hurts the team. And they were critical penalties.
Yeah, the hold was bad. The hold was a
he
really
had a bad hold.
One. Penalties in general were bad in this game.
I know you're desperate to make him a good player. He's not. You have to move on.
Yeah, I think at the end of the season, or because he's on his rookie contract.
I know.
I just let him go.
But you cannot do this thing again with Tyquan Thornton. You just can't. You got to accept that he is a trash player. You have to accept it and move on.
Yeah, that's why
I would move on in a hurry.
That's why Thornton didn't play today.
Yeah, but Thornton, it took 3 years. I'm sorry, you can't keep doing that.
I know. That was Bill's fault too, though.
I know, but I'm sorry. At the end of the year, I would look to trade Polk or cut him.
Just cut him.
I would get rid of him.
Just cut him.
You've got to get Baker on there running routes. He's got to be out there next week. Because you got to see if both receivers are busts, and you need to determine that quickly. Because you are on a rookie contract with the quarterback. You need to determine quickly if you need to use your number 1 pick on a receiver. Yeah. You need to determine this now.
Unlike what they did with Mac.
They
didn't do that with Mac.
No, and they were. I mean, it's like with Harry.
They were insistent on making him work.
He's not good. And you have to recognize it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, the Steelers don't do this with receivers. If they do draft a bust, which very rarely happens for them, but they move on immediately. Same with the Eagles.
It's just
remember Rager? He was drafted by the Eagles. The Eagles gave him a year, and they were like, "This guy sucks," and they moved on. It sucks to waste a first-round pick.
It happens.
But it happens. It sucks to waste a second-round pick. It happens. But what you can't do is keep throwing this guy out there when he's making your team actually worse.
Yeah. So we lose 20-17 in overtime, and next week we have to go
get creamed by the Bears.
Fly to Chicago to play the Bears in Chicago.
You look at the rest of the schedule, and this was the only other game I had them potentially winning.
Yeah, the rest of the schedule's silly.
I mean, once again, I think Drake May basically was one of the better quarterbacks against Tennessee.
Yeah.
Tennessee's one of the best pass defenses in the NFL. He threw 206 yards.
Yeah.
He threw 2 interceptions, but
he's a rookie. It's gonna happen.
It's gonna happen.
Yeah.
And he threw an amazing touchdown.
Yeah, and he also broke a Patriots rushing record.
And he ran for 95 yards.
Yeah. He was probably the best player on the team.
He's carrying your entire offense, and it's not sustainable. No. First of all, you're going to get him killed because he has to run around all the time.
Right.
So, because he's not sliding, and I know why he's not sliding, because he feels like he has to play hero ball, because guess what? He has to play hero ball. He has to be Josh Allen.
Well, hopefully they actually go and make this trade for a tackle, like all the reporters are saying.
They have to get a good tackle. The whole line was terrible, by the way. Layden Robinson came back and was immediately benched. So I guess he's a bust too now.
I guess, yeah.
He's the one guy that I thought was doing well, and he comes back and he's terrible.
Yeah, it was benched like sometime in the first half.
Demontre Jenkins comes in at tackle. He's terrible again. Awful.
Awful, I know.
Owenwu at tackle has been awful. He's actually been good at guard, so you're just going to have to accept that you've drafted, out of everybody you drafted this year, there's only one player that's any good, and that's Drake May. And that sucks, but that's the way it is. Everyone else is terrible.
Was Behringer this year they drafted him?
No, I think it was
last year. Yeah, that's right, because he beat out for the job.
He beat out Bailey.
Yeah.
So you just have to accept that you basically failed the draft again.
What a surprise.
You did.
What a surprise. I mean, really. We're used to it at this point. They haven't drafted good in forever.
Yeah, but... Man, Elliott Wolf should lose his job. If only one player works out, he should lose his job.
Yeah.
You only have basically 4 years to get this right. 5 years. Well, 4 years after this year, because you're going to waste this year.
It's been 4 years since Brady's been.
I know, but you have really only 2 years because you have to decide on the option for May.
Next year.
Not next year, the year after.
Oh.
So you have 2 years to get this right after this year. So you need a number 1 receiver. You just do. I'm sorry, you do.
A tackle.
You better find that at the end of this year. And if you have to trade, next year, like, another first-round pick down the road, so be it.
Yeah.
You need a number 1 receiver. You just do. You need 2 tackles. You might need a guard. You definitely need a center. I think you have,
linebackers.
Maybe you can turn Cole Strange into a workable center, but you need linebackers, yep.
Supposedly Cole Strange is on track to come back. It's week 9. Where is he?
Where is he? That's another guy that's been a complete waste. I'm sorry, their only hope with Cole Strange is that he gets good at center. Because if he does, fine. Saves the pick. If not, you got to move on. You have to move on. You cannot keep hanging on of
We get it.
I know, but we're
They
just
need a lot of
tired of
players.
hearing Gerard Mayo keep going out saying, oh, Jalen Polk will be a good player. When? It's been 9 weeks.
Season's halfway over.
We've heard this about Tyquan Thornton for 3 years. He's going to be a good player. He's going to be a good player.
The sad thing about him is that some team is probably going to trade for him for a 4th-round pick.
Look, Kayshon Boutte has become an okay player.
Yes.
Fine.
He's changed his attitude, which helped.
But, Bourne's too old, so you're going to have to move on at some point, probably.
We'll see.
Douglas is good. You got lucky there. So you have Douglas, Boutte, and that's it. And Henry.
And Henry, and that's it.
And that's it.
Hooper's also old.
Yeah, Hooper's old, but whatever. But those are your only good 3 offensive players?
Bell, we don't really know if he's any good.
Yeah, they're not using him. I don't know why you haven't developed gadget plays yet. We need to know. We have to know if he's any good.
Right, we don't know.
And Stevenson's good occasionally. At least he used to be. He's been bad lately.
He's got the most. He's got a high for touchdowns this season.
I don't know. So I'll give him Stevenson. That's 4, and Drake May, obviously. This is not good. This team is really bad roster wise.
Yeah, it's been bad roster wise.
But I didn't realize it was they don't even have a functional team.
It's been bad roster wise. It really has.
Whatever. Anyway, they lose, which I'm just gonna pick them to lose the rest of the year. So I don't see them winning any other game. This was their best shot because the Titans. Let's just be honest. The Titans suck. Outside of their defense, they suck horribly. They are a terrible team.
Yeah.
Good defensively, but awful offensively. Awful on special teams. You should have been able to beat this team.
Well, that helps us with the number 1 pick.
Well, the Carolina Panthers won, so we might be
sad to talk about that, but that's...
Well, that's what we're going to get, for sure.
Either number 1 or number 2, because we're not winning any other games.
No, we're not winning any other game.
I don't think so.
They're not beating the Dolphins. The Dolphins competed with the Bills today, so that game's out.
Yeah, the Bills lost in the last 5. They won in the last 5 seconds today.
So... You got to play the Rams, you're going to get creamed there. What else do they play? They play the Bears next week, you're going to get creamed. You play the Dolphins again, you're going to get creamed. Play the Bills twice, not even going to be competitive. You play the Chargers, no way they're beating the Chargers. Play the Cardinals, there's no way they're beating the Cardinals. So I don't see another win on the schedule.
They had the hardest schedule this year.
I know. But At least stop asking so much out of Drake May the rest of the year, please.
Hey, at least we don't.
Somebody step up.
At least we don't have to suffer with primetime games. They're all 1 o'clock games.
And Drake May is the only guy that makes his team even remotely watchable.
Yep.
Whatever. We'll cover the Bears preview next week. I mean, it's going to be a 40-17 game. I'm just telling you.
I don't think the Bears will win by 40 points.
Oh no, they're going to.
It's going to be like this game, I think.
I don't think
2010.
so.
That's my theory.
The Bears are way better than the Titans.
They ain't scoring 40 points though. Are you crazy?
You know how bad this defense is?
I know, but they're not going to score 40.
Okay.
I think that's a little...
They're going to score 27, 30 points.
The Bills might score 70 points on us. The Bears won't. The Bills will win by a lot.
Obviously. We ain't beating Buffalo.
I don't think the Bears will win by that
terrible
much.
Team. You had a chance to actually go into second place in the division.
I know.
And you blew it.
Yeah. It's how bad the AFC is this year.
Whatever. Yeah, the whole AFC sucks. The NFC is winning the Super Bowl. Either the Lions are going to win or the Vikings are going to win.
Or the Packers, for that sake. That NFC North division is
I
wacky.
think the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl for the first time.
They deserve it.
They're a really good team.
They are a very good team. They deserve to win.
I mean, I'd love to see them just... Well, Kansas City's not making the Super Bowl. But if they did, they'd get crushed.
They get smoked.
They get smoked, yeah. But whatever. All right. This is Ryzen.
And Liz.
Thanks for watching. Take care.